This week's video is going to be a tutorial on pattern 92187. Well, I printed it off and here's what it looks like. I'm going to be using pretty much the same colors, except for this orange color is going to be more of a pink. But yeah, let's just get into it. For this pattern, you'll need 4 colors. So I have my black and white and then my 2 pink colors. And so this one is number 3779 and 948. These are both DMC, and then black is 310 and then white is just white. This pattern is 14 strings wide, so we're going to have 6 black, 2 white, and then 2 of each of the other colors. So I'm going to start with the black because that one will have the most. For string length, this bracelet is wider, so you're going to be doing more knots, which means your string is going to be used more, which means you need to make it longer. And so I always just start with wingspan length, so that's from fingertips to fingertips all the way across. On longer bracelets, I just pull out maybe just like a little bit extra. This is obviously very long, but when we start the bracelet, you'll take it and fold it in half. So this is actually 2 strings. So after I cut one of these, I just take my thread over here and then line it up and then do the exact same length. So since we need 6 black strings, we'll do 3 of the long ones. So when they're folded in half, it will be 6. Our black strings are now all cut, so I'm just going to set those over here and move on to white. So if you look at the pattern, black is outlined and everything, so there is a lot of black knots, so that's why that one's longer. But the white ones are only these dots here, so you don't actually need to make them as long as the black, but I'm just going to do wingspan just to make sure. So there'll be 4 of these, so it'll be 2 long strings to make 4. And now my whites are done, so the last thing we have is the 2 colors. And so we have them here. It's B and C. So I have my 2 pinks, and I'll probably just do wingspan length once again. Now I have all my strings cut. I'm going to take each of them and line up the 2 ends like this, and then you'll pull to the other side. So this is 2 of your strings, and I'm going to do that with all of them so I can find the center of all of them so the strings will be even on both sides. Now that I have all my strings, I'm just going to put them all on my finger like this, so that I know that they're all centered and even on both sides, and then I'm going to tie a knot and we'll start the bracelet. To do this knot, I just take it, wrap it around my fingers, and then pull it through. And it depends on how you want to do your closures, but I'm just going to do a normal braided or twisted one, so I probably have about that much, probably a little more than 4 fingers length. And then I'll just pull that tight and tape my bracelet down. For this one, I'm going to use donut tape. The next thing we're going to do is organize our strings. So we'll start with the darker of your colors on the far left and then the lighter. Then you'll have 2 blacks, 2 whites, 2 blacks, 2 whites, 2 blacks, and then the last 2 color. This is how you want your strings to look. So I'm just going to move all these over because we'll be starting with this knot on the far right. So the reason why I'm starting over here is because I can already see that if we started over here with this knot and then we started going down, you wouldn't be able to do this because this would be cutting it off. I'm going to start over here with this one and we'll kind of work our way over. So I'm just going to move all of these strings over, and I will do a forward knot with the lighter color over the darker color. So just a refresher, you go across this way and pull it through and up, and then one more time. The next one I'm going to do is this black one, so I'll take my 2 blacks right here and do another forward knot. The next will be with 2 whites. Now we're going to do this black knot right here. Now we'll do this white one. So I'm going to stop the forward knots right there, but you could of course do this pattern row by row and just do forward knots all the way across and then do these and just keep going by row. But I'm going to be doing this by segment. So the next knot I'm going to do is this one right here. So I'm going to take the black, as you can tell in the middle, we have this black knot right here. So I'm going to take the string on the left side and the string on the right side of the whites, and I'm going to do a backward knot. And so that is with the string going across this way and pull it through. And then do it again. And that's a backward knot. And then I will do kind of the same thing on the other side, which will be this knot, and take the other black one and over this white one do a forward knot. And then the last part of this little area will be a knot with the 2 whites in the center right here. Now I'm going to go back over to the blacks over here and do 3 backward knots over white, black, and white. So I'll just kind of pull my bracelet over. When you start, it's always going to be a little messed up at the beginning, but once you do some knots, the strings should all be in order. So I can tell my 2 blacks are over here. So I'm going to take the one on the left side and do my backward knots. Now that I finished those, I'm going to do 4 backward knots with the darker color. So you kind of have to pull it out from behind, kind of up here. And we'll start with the one over the black, and then I'll do one over the white, black, and then white. So if you want, you could just pull these over there so you know not to go past that. My 4 backward knots are now finished, so now I'm going to do another 4 with the light color. So this one's on the edge, but you'll just kind of pull it down and just do your knot. Next is 3 backward knots with this black. Then we'll do a forward knot with the black over the white. So on this edge, you'll use these 2 strings. Then 1 knot with the 2 whites together. And then the last one will be a backward knot with the black over white. Now this whole section is finished. So we'll go back to the far left side and we're actually going to do forward knots with the black all the way to the end. So you want to make sure that you don't mess up the order of the strings here. So you should have your 2 colored strings and then 2 black strings. So you might need to pull them forward a little bit, but you want to make sure not to mess up the order. And so as you're going, you can even look at these little spaces right here. And so you should go over white, black, and then the 2 colors, and then black, white, black. And so if you wanted to beforehand line up your strings like that, they should be in that order, but you just want to make sure not to mess it up because then the strings would be out of order and be hard to follow the pattern. So I'm going to do the black all the way down. Now my black knots are finished, so the next one is going to be kind of the same thing, but with the darker color. Again, forward knots all the way across. The next one is with the lighter color almost all the way across, but don't do a knot over this far string. And so I'm just going to leave mine off to the side here just to make sure that I remember not to do it on that one. The last color we're going to do all the way across is the black. So this is similar to the other one where we will not be doing knots on the C, B, or singular A string. So it's these 3 on the very edge, so I'll just leave those off to the side again and do the black knots. The next section is similar to what we did over here. So the first knot I'm going to do is a backward with black over white. So I take the 2 on the far left and do that one. Then I will do a knot with the whites and then a forward knot with the black over white. Next is 3 backward knots with black. Now I'm going to do 4 backwards with the darker color. Next is 4 with the lighter color. Next is 3 backwards with the black. Now is our last 3 knots. So the first one is with white and then we have 2 blacks. So I'll do the white one first. Then on the black on the left side, I will do a forward knot. And then with the black on the right side, I will do a backward knot. So that is the first section of this pattern, and after this point, you would just go back up to the first part and just restart and go back down, and it just keeps repeating, and eventually it will turn into a bracelet like this. So I can put the timestamp on screen of what point of the video you could jump to if you wanted to start over at the top again. But yeah, that's basically this whole bracelet. Just keep repeating until it's a length that you like. And I hope this video helped you with this pattern, and if you liked it, please give it a like and share it with anyone you think it would help, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next Tuesday.